Hi, I'm Cara Williams with South Shore Sotheby's International Realty. Welcome back to Coastal Living with Cara. Today's featured town is Plymouth, Massachusetts. Plymouth is a coastal town in Plymouth County, Massachusetts. Plymouth holds a place of great prominence in American history, folklore, and culture, and is known as America's hometown. Plymouth was the site of the colony founded in 1620 by the Mayflower Pilgrims, where New England was first established. Plymouth is located approximately 40 miles south of Boston. Plymouth is a bustling town, originally settled as a fishing and rope-making village, but now thriving on its tourism. Plymouth has affordable home prices, plenty of outdoor activities, restaurants, shopping centers, and easy highway and train access. This town has it all. With all of its historic charm and new development neighborhoods, there is something for everyone's home preferences. Come for a visit and take a walk down the historic Court Street shopping district, or bring the bathing suit and head over to the beautiful beaches of Manamet and White Cliffs. Hi, this is Cara Williams with South Shore Sotheby's International Realty, and today I'm here with Patrick O'Grady, owner of O'Grady Insurance, located in historic Plymouth. Hi Pat, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us about home insurance.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
How does someone begin the process? What should they be looking for?
Well, in today's market, there's certainly a number of choices that the customers have. If it were someone that's coming into a new area, maybe moving from a different part of the state or coming in from out of state, I think a great place to start is with someone like yourself, with a realtor. Whoever they're working with, a lot of times they may have worked with someone in the past or have used someone that they've had success with. So that's a great starting point. Another area I would go to, obviously online. I would try to find, go in and see what their online presence is like, get a sense of who it is you might be working with. Maybe check out their reviews. Those are certainly helpful. And lastly, if I'm being a little biased, of course, but I would be looking for someone, if I'm purchasing a house that has a number of different markets, someone that works with a variety of carriers, because there's really no one shoe fits all approach, right? So I would really want to make sure I put it out there where whoever is working on it can try to do their best to find the best fit.
How does the customer know that they are getting the right coverage?
That is something that's really, it's a two-part scenario. Obviously, we have the property itself. You're making probably the single largest investment that you make in your lifetime, right? So what we're looking to do is make sure that we're covering the full replacement of that house, okay? Especially if it's a new purchase, certainly the bank wants to make sure that coverage is there. You as the home buyer want to make sure that that coverage is there. And most agents have the means, have the software in order to really figure out or narrow down a real approximate replacement cost value, right? And remember, we're not looking at assessed values. We're not concerned with market value. There's no land in there, right? We're really simply looking at what does this property, in the event of a total loss, cost to rebuild and make you whole again, right? The second part of that really is the bigger picture issue. And if I'm a consumer, I'm looking for someone that's going to take the time to get to know who I am, right? What are my needs? For instance, am I a young couple newly married, right? Or am I a recent empty nester that's downsizing? Each of those scenarios present their own set of circumstances, correct? So I would want someone to take a look at what I have, what my exposures are, and work with me from that standpoint. And that's really the ongoing process that a consumer should be having with their insurance broker, is to make sure that they're keeping them abreast of any life changes, any big purchases, any types of those scenarios. That's where that communication, that relationship is really important.
And we live in a coastal community. Can we talk about flood insurance?
Yes, yes, and it's becoming an increasingly hotter topic by the day. There's been a lot of changes to flood over the past couple years. The mapping, if you're familiar with how the federal government, they map out each property, right? And there's a variety of different flood zones. Well, those have been changing, and we're starting to find more and more properties ending up in flood zones that were never there before. And just recently, as of July 6th, they made another change. We've just, over the past month, had a handful of properties come in where they've received letters from their mortgage carrier saying you're now in a flood zone, you need to carry flood insurance. Fortunately, that market has really changed. We used to have to rely on FEMA, and now there's a number of private flood carriers that we can go to with affordable coverage. And keep in mind, when it comes to flood, that's the only thing that covers flood. Your homeowner's policy does not cover flood. The only thing in existence really is that flood policy. So if you feel you're at risk or in a flood zone, that's what you need to cover that.
Okay, I had clients this past summer that purchased a home, and with all of the rain that this summer brought, they had a lot of water damage. Does flood insurance cover that?
Well, it's depending on the circumstance, right? So if it's surface water, okay, something that's flowing in, individual has seepage through the basement, and say they have a finished basement and seeps through the walls or comes in through, if it's a walkout, a sliding glass door, and it's the result of surface water, that is flood. A water heater, for instance, burst in the basement, and you get 6 inches of water in there. That's homeowners, right? That's water damage. That's what that policy is designed for, versus the flood, which is that, again, that surface water, the runoff, the seepage, that type of scenarios where you would call on a flood policy.
What about cost? How does the customer know that they're getting a competitive rate?
Good question. Certainly cost containment, it's important to all of us, and myself included as a consumer, right? That goes back to why I would choose an agent that has multiple carriers. You get a good view as to what the market looks like, but there's also a number of tools available to agents to help mitigate the cost, to help make it as competitive as possible. For instance, you have an auto, 2 autos. What if we package those together with the home? Okay, you start to look at your entire exposure, all your risks, your home, your autos as one, and what's that whole package look like? How do we bring those costs down? How do we capitalize on some of the discounts that are out there? And again, that really comes down to the relationship that you develop with the agent you're working with, and for them getting to know if you're a member of a certain club or not. There's discounts for that, and so it's really those conversations that help. But again, when working with someone that's put it out there to a number of different markets, you can feel confident that you're getting the best or the most appropriate coverage for the most competitive cost.
Thank you so much for your time today, Pat.
Thank you for stopping by.
If you're looking for homeowners insurance, please contact O'Grady Insurance in Plymouth, Mass. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.